Hi guys, good morning. It is Thursday morning and I thought I would check in with you. We could chat and I'd let you know where I've been and where we're going, what I'm going to be doing this next month. I'm going to be challenging myself for a specific reason and I'll have all the details down below, but I'll explain it. It's pretty simple. Okay, so we started homeschooling again. Where I've been is we've been homeschooling because the kids they took 2 months off for summer, and I think I underestimated the amount of time I was going to need to spend with them to get them up to speed again because they're moving into fourth, sixth, and eighth grades. And so there's kind of like a big jump in some of their studies. And I really needed to, both of us needed to really hone in on the one-on-one with them and get them to where they needed to be. And now finally they're doing this, and I feel like there's a little bit more time for me to spend elsewhere, doing some other things, just a little bit more, not tons, but anyway, so I've been totally absent from Facebook, minimally active on Instagram, and really not a lot of videos out. I do have some other videos going out on my other channel, which those ones are easy to make because I put them out like every 1 or 2 weeks. I'm doing a declutter challenge over there, and that information in the channel link is below if you want to join us for that. I'm doing really good on the decluttering. That being said, now I was doing pretty steady because I've been low carb all of this time, and low carb seems to work really well for my blood sugar, which is why I'm doing that. But over the last month, since I last weighed August 30th, and not August 30th, I'm sorry, August 3rd, and that was the last time I weighed, and I was the same weight as I was like 3 weeks before that. So I said, well, I'm not going to weigh in for a while again. But since then, we've been out of town, which that's a whole issue. We went to Knott's Berry Farm, right? Which was great. But I kind of eased up on the low carbiness while I was there. I tried to stay, very moderate. But I know if I do low carb, I have to do low carb like 100%. They just can't, I can't fiddle around, period. Another thing is that I've been eating peanuts again. I love peanuts, and I've been eating them as snacks. And I don't eat tons of them, but I just have like maybe a quarter cup. But a quarter cup at a time is like 5 or 6 points. And so if I have those a couple of times a day, that's like 12 points on peanuts, which I don't think I've been eating quite so many, but I've been eating enough that I think it's put me over on my points if I was using my points, right? And recording points, and then also having them between meals also raises my insulin enough to probably store the fat that I'm eating. So I know that. I know better than that, but I kind of figured I could get away with it. And then also I had a hormone issue that, I don't know if this has something to do with it, but during the last month, but I am on the hormone replacement pellet therapy, and I've never had an issue with it, but I've been on it for years. I love it. But the last time something happened with the pellet and it worked its way, it looks like kind of like a little, I don't know, like a pill or a peg or something. And this is about 1/2 inch for this one. There's some smaller ones, but it worked its way up to the top of my skin. I could actually see it like under the skin where it was implanted, and it was very sore, and it just didn't, I've never had it where it was trying to extrude itself in my body, and I've never had that happen before. But I went into the doctor and she said, yeah, that's what's happening. We don't know why, it happens once in a while. It's a really low percentage, but she had to go in and take it out, give me a new one. And it looked to me like during those 3 weeks that I was dealing with this, I was getting no benefit from any of those hormones. So I'm wondering if maybe that jived up my hormones a little bit. And anyway, I ended up getting on the scale, and I'm 6 pounds heavier than I was the last time I weighed in, which was August 3rd. Okay, so that, of course, I wasn't happy about that. I was just I just laughed because I mean, it seems like a million things that are responsible for that. But in any case, I said, and then the night before, I said, you know what? If I get up and I get on the scale, I weighed on Wednesday, yesterday, and I am the same, then I'll probably just keep going with what I'm doing. But if I'm heavier and I've gained some weight, then it's time for me to go back on Weight Watchers and reel it in and get serious, because what's going on is we're approaching the holidays. I don't want to have that 6 pounds on and then put another 6 pounds on by the time January rolls around. I need to get this off this month before the big holidays come. I don't want that burden of having that extra weight. So that's what I'm focusing on, is losing the 6 pounds this month during the month of October. So I came up with a plan to do that, and I have a calendar here that I made out, and then I'm just going to go over some of the things that I'm going to track every day. It's I'm calling it the Cats on Point 30-day challenge. And so starting the first, actually I've already started just to practice, but from the 1st through the 30th, I guess, I'm going to be track every day. And number 1. Number 2, stay within point range. Now that doesn't mean you stay within just the points, but in the range that will keep you with a blue dot, right? That's what that means. Number 3, 30-minute movements daily. So that's exercise, whatever kind of exercise. Number 4, adequate water intake. And my adequate water intake is going to be more or less like 10 or 11 cups of water per day. And of course I can get that through like tea and some other things. But what I'm going to do is attach a calculator, so that if you don't know how much water you're supposed to be drinking, you can go use the calculator and input your information. It'll tell you how much water you should be drinking. And I thought that was really helpful. Number 5, sleep. I want to get adequate sleep every night. And for me, I feel pretty good when I'm about 7 hours a night, which isn't always easy to get. Number 6, strength training. For me, it's really important. And so I want to get like 3 days of strength training per week, at least. And I'll feel real good about that. Number 7, that was number 6, right? Number 7 is community. That means every day I need to give some sort of encouragement to another member of our community and spur that person on to keep going. And I think that's really, really important, so that this isn't like just me focused, but it's me and then somebody else that you're able to give to. I think that would be very beneficial in a lot of different ways. So there's 7 different points. That's it. That's what I'm going to be doing for the month of October. So I made up a calendar here with abbreviations of each one of those points. And as I do them, I'm going to be checking them off if I've completed them. And if I didn't complete them, I'll put the other information in, like maybe the 30 minutes a day. If I don't get 30 minutes a day, and I only got 15, then I'll put 15 on it, and I won't give myself a check mark because I didn't, sorry about the dog barking, because I didn't complete it. But it's not that hard to do that, right? I mean, you could do walking, you could do anything that you like to do. That's what I'm going to be doing. So if you want to do this, let me know. I'm really bad about making spreadsheets online, so I really don't think I can do that. I tried yesterday and it came out horrible. So if I can do that, I'd let you know. I'd put the link up, but right now I don't. So if you want to go along and do this, just write down the information, the 7 bullet points that will be in the description box, and add it to your calendar, and follow it along, or just write those things down, hang them up in the kitchen, and that'll kind of like help you. But it would be easier to have a spreadsheet, wouldn't it? I'll see if maybe Honey can help me put one together. Okay, so I'm going to let you go. Thanks so much for checking in. And I guess we're going to be seeing a lot more of each other this month. All right, take care, and I will see you later. This morning's breakfast is a frittata made from leftovers. I had spaghetti squash with little ground beef, and I ended up using that with a couple of eggs to make a frittata, some avocado on top. And I have a couple of these little tiny tortillas. They are actually, I think they're 0 points for one, 1 point for two. And one of them is like zero net carbs, so they're pretty good and handy to have around. So I have a couple of those in here. It's a great low carb breakfast, and I have a cup of blackberries. And then mid-morning I had a tea. I like to use a couple of them at a time, and these are buttermint flavored, which are really good. If you remember those little buttermint candies, they smell just like that. And then I had a little snack, just some yogurt with a little flavoring in it. And then lunchtime was a salad, and I actually used some burger meat in there, some of this Monterey Jack cheese and some other vegetables, a little salsa on top, and some ranch dressing. Now dinner, I wasn't that hungry, but I just was a little peakish, so I have one keto bread. I have a vegetable soup that's like a 0 points, and then eggs and avocado and a little bit of brie cheese. And the next morning, my husband collects these cups. It used to get on my nerves because I didn't like them around the house. They looked like garbage to me, but to tell you the truth, now I'm thanking him for it because they fit my smoothies just fine. And I have a few eggs here that the girls laid this morning. It's a big smoothie. I actually didn't end up eating it all, but it was wonderful. And then lunchtime came around. I was in a hurry. I needed to go somewhere, so I had a 1/4 cup of peanuts, 2 eggs, and an iced sugar-free drink.